Bhupesh Kumar, Principal IHM CTAN, Ranchi. Sir, over to you,
Uh,
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And good afternoon to everyone, all the panelists, Professor Nimit, Professor Santanu, and Professor Valerie. He might not be there. I am not able to see right now him due to some connection error. I hope he will join us. And all the attendees here, and especially the Jagran Lake University team, Professor Naqvi sir and his team. You all are doing a marvelous job, and I hope this conference is going to bring out good enlightenment to the time, the need of the hour, which is now. But before starting, I'd like to extend my sympathy to all those who have suffered due to this second phase, because it was more uh, uh, I'll say impact was very high in the second wave for our country. Many people have lost their loved ones. Many of again people have it was picking up, the business was picking up, and all of the sudden everything came down, so the unemployment graph again is going up, and the poverty has increased up. And at the same time, I'd like to appreciate the frontliners who really worked hard during that period of April and May to control this wave. Now, coming to the travel sector, what we are discussing here on the topic recovery and beyond, the future of hospitality and tourism. Yes, our travel and tourism sector has been greatly impacted. The impact is so high that we can see uh, many of the countries, they have closed their boundaries, the international flights are not happening, everything is closed down, so the travel sector is not working. And at the same time, uh, other allied industries which are dependent on the tourism sector, they are suffering the same way. There was a notion, not exactly, I don't have the research to confirm that, but tourism sector, we have, if one hotel room comes in, the multiplier effect create at least 7 employment. So you can understand what is the impact. And as per WTC, this impact is going to take away 121 million jobs will be impacted. And Nimit sir already said around a million jobs already have lost. And still, I'd like to appreciate the hospitality sector employees. They learn very. We have been seeing few of the hotels in Hyderabad and other places also offering their rooms for quarantine guests. So our hospitality sector redefined that term hospitality, and they were there helping for COVID patients quarantine if they are staying, mild patients, obviously not the severe ones. Then coming up with other alternative business, many hoteliers who lost their job I could see, they come up with new entrepreneurship ideas of selling masks and sanitizers, not many things. So this is what our hospitality is, because I am an hospitality expert. I'm part of tourism. So hospitality, it is having a different perspective. Nimit sir rightly said, once this lockdown opened, the hills of Himalayas were totally choked up with the traffic jams. The cars were there on the highway towards Simla. But in this, I like to add up that alternate sector is making, actually making the benefit out of it. I have been talking to people in Manali. The hotels are really not working well. It is the makeshift accommodation, apartments, and all other things which are not actually a hotel, but they provide accommodations. People are preferring that because I had a flat in an apartment, and I am cut off with all other people, and my I have my own kitchen, everything, the full family. So the travel, the number of people going down, the day of stay has extended up. Earlier it was 3 to 4 days. Now it has come to 8 to 9 days of stay. So that alternative tourism has been more in demand, and that is what the future is coming up. Rightly, there was a question in the chat box for Professor Nivit from Maharajas Vijay Reddy sir, that what about the skill? So yes, the skill gap barrier to adoption of this new technologies will be going to happen. Now, why? What new technology? When I was going through a research, a report by WTTC, they said that 58% of the people, the travelers, are now interested for domestic trips. The first thing is that your international tourism is getting impacted if we go by that figure. Now, they say that they are preferring remote work, so that means the international travel related to business also, if not leisure, is not going to happen in near future. It may take time. 80% of the travelers, they are having that fear of potential quarantine. Like for every country there is a protocol. If we are coming from out of the country or from one state to another state, there are certain quarantine protocol rules. So the travelers have that fear factor that getting contracted with the virus will be the later one. The first thing is that when we are going to a destination for travel, the first 7 days we might be kept in quarantine. So they are hesitant in taking up these travel activities. And obviously, I participated in a Delphi study. An American university is doing that. There also the findings which are coming out, the travelers were more inclined towards that trust level related to the safety concerns, that the cleanliness, the health measures, what are the protocols followed by, and about the workforce, how they are trained to handle the situation. They are trying to first gauge that, then only they are interested to take up that room or anything else or the destination. It was for the tourism only, not the hotel. Now, talking about the digitalization, what has happened today, this international conference, I was doing international conference since years when in the last organization, and I have people coming from all across the world. Now the thing is that yes, people are there from all across the world, but we all are meeting virtually. So this digitalization, this video conferencing concept, still that research say that 69% of the people would like to continue with this video conferencing activity in coming future, and many like 45% of the travelers say that they want that digital identity for them. They want to do away with this paper passport. 9 out of 10 people are living in the countries where the travel restrictions are there. That means if 10 travelers were there earlier, 9 out of them are under restrictions, so they are not coming out of the country. So they have the other option of domestic travel only. Now coming to what we expect. What we expect in the future. This is what our panel discussion is really focused on. As an hotel industry expert, I like to start with an example. In our city, Radisson Blue Hotel is there. It's a 115 room hotel, and every day when I talk with them just to check their business health, 100 rooms are occupied every day. The restaurants are not allowed. Partial lockdown is there in the city. Only takeaways are allowed, and the guests are allowed to stay in the rooms. So I was surprised to see that a 5-star hotel getting guests, and that is also near to 90% occupancy. That means the business has not been directly impacted, but the way of business has changed. All the guests now are being served in the room. They are not allowed to come to the restaurant, and the hotel was not ready for that humongous task of serving everyone breakfast, lunch, dinner, high tea, whatever in the room, and doing F&B business for takeaway also. Because the staff, the manpower was not planned accordingly, the manpower was not trained accordingly. Our whole hotel setup was different. And the guests want touchless services. Santanu was also trying to add up few technologies may take up. Whatever the technology comes, this human touch in hospitality will never go. The style of service will change, and that is what the skill with Dr. Maharaja Vijay Reddy might be interested to know. This is what the skill change, and our old hospitality trained people also need to go for that training, because the demand, the nature, what is going to be there of the service now will be little different. It will come down to normal. Nimit sir rightly said that our industry was the first to be get impacted and would be the last to recover out, but will be the best to recover out. Right, sir? But the thing is that things will change. The perspective, the look, the perception of the travelers will change, and similarly, we need to change our workforce. We need to upgrade our curriculum, course curriculum, what we are teaching in our hotel management education, what in tourism education, and the service sector, how they are giving up the training to their employees. Because things will move. What the demand evolution says that the industry need to accelerate. They will move to touchless services, personalized delivery of services. Huge investment on cyber security will now be required, because lot many people are now dependent on this internet arena only. So the chances of getting exposed to cyber fraud is getting high every day. So the businesses need to invest a lot on their cyber security. The workforce need to be digitized. They need to now learn to work on digital platforms for giving the services, and non-traditional destination. In USA, 40% of their travelers say that now they are looking towards rural areas for their tourism activity. Beach areas, that means where the density of the population is not very high, and long duration trips is being expected. So the same thing is going to happen in Jharkhand also. Yesterday only, the government, earlier they never supported this homestay culture. Now they are trying to promote deep down rural areas for tourism, and with homestays facilities there. Why? Now the destinations which were earlier crowded, which were very much easily accessible to the crowd, to the mass, the travelers would like to avoid. They would like to go to the places where the density of the travelers and the local population is low. The facilities of hospitals and everything are available, and they want to be at a secluded place, no disturbance by the crowd. So that is what this destination, the traditional way to look the destination, to choose the destination, which will change. And during this time, I could see, due to news, due to the media, people have basically got more and more awareness, and they got more and more inclined towards environmental safeguard, conservation, and lot many things. So when they will take up the environmental, they will look forward for these type of destinations where this environmental safeguard is taken care of, the conservation part is uh, taken care of. So these are the future of hospitality we need to think. And I like to hand over the session back to Soeb sir to take up the questions, and if Professor Valeria is there, we can have the chance to listen to him. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for this talk. New innovation and entrepreneur